From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Some Montfortan parents decided to walk to school recently, coming up why they're retracing the steps of their children and what they learned about the dangers their kids face every school day. Plus, find out why volunteer fire departments across the state are taking unusual steps, including special programs aimed at high school students to add to their ranks. It is 6:30 on this Monday. Matt Elwell, Chet Lehman with you here. A beautiful weekend and not a bad morning out for October. It's the 18th of October. No, it's not bad at all.
A lot of times our temperatures right now are daytime highs as we experienced last week.
Right.
Very comfortable this morning, 30s for most of us. Cloud cover in place, and that's keeping these temperatures in check for the morning. Right now we're seeing 39 degrees in Belgrade, 42 in Bozeman, 34 in Butte, 25 our coolest temperature in West Yellowstone. Talked about the cloud cover. There may be a few showers in the area by the evening, but I don't think it's going to cover many areas outside of West Yellowstone, Big Sky, Cameron. Mainly just cloudy conditions. Temperatures around 60 degrees for the Bozeman area. I have a look at the end of the month, the temperature and precipitation outlook. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Right, thank you, Matt. Again, breaking news this morning. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell has passed away at the age of 84 from complications from COVID-19. CBS will be having a special report for that sometime after 7 o'clock. We will be bringing that to you when that is available. Meantime, back here at home in a growing community like Bozeman, how to get kids to and from school, a major concern, especially if those students walk or bike. 10's Holly Brantley has more on how one school is hoping to raise awareness among drivers.
What's it like to walk a mile in their shoes? City and school leaders performed a walk audit to show the community how we can make the trip to school safer for students. Step by step, school and city leaders and Montfortan parents retrace the steps of students who frequently walk to school. It's called a walk audit, aimed at discovering trouble spots to make the route safer for students like Orion Kimball. What do you think is most important about what's happening today?
That other kids besides me can walk to their school safely.
Last spring, he took part in a walk audit as well.
It is important that other students can safely travel to and from school every day.
Is it scary if you see a driver that's not paying any attention?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very nervous because cars can be very dangerous to people.
The audit is a statement and also a study. Andrew ROWSE is the president of Montfortan Moves.
This one is focused on community leaders and adults and parents. We did one earlier with children, but today we're bringing the parents out to have them walk the trails, the paths, and the transportation routes around school in the neighborhood, so that we can all so that we can evaluate the safety and problem areas with moving around.
ROWSE says he bikes to school with his kids and they see daily how dangerous the trip can be.
So the goal, when we leave, the goal is not to get to school. That's the secondary goal. The primary goal is to survive Huffine.
They even had stickers printed with the phrase, "I survived Huffine," to drive home the point to those taking part today. Among them, Matthew Madsen with Western Transportation Institute at Montana State University.
We did walk audits with kids last year actually, and at the beginning of class, some of the kids were like, "Why do you even want to talk to us?" And I'm like, "Because you're actually the experts in this. You do it every day. So you see things very differently than people who are driving in their cars."
Madsen's role is to help gather data based on the 6 E's of the nationwide Safer Routes to School program: encouragement, education, equity, engineering, engagement, and evaluation. From there, they can help put wheels in motion for safety improvements, like these recently added yield signs. He says so far they've learned there's areas where the infrastructure needs updating for safety, places with high traffic and higher speeds, all due to Bozeman's growth.
The Gallatin Valley in general, there's a lot of growth going on here and a lot of those issues, and this is an opportunity to do that.
Meantime, students at Montfortan School hope every time you see one of these stickers, you'll keep your eyes on the road to keep their routes to school safer. In Bozeman, Holly Brantley, MTN News.
Now from here, Mattson says he will use his notes from the audit to put together a report to share with city leaders and Montfortin parents with suggestions for improvements and updates. They've used the process to gather data like you'll see in this graphic about why speed matters and how reducing your speed in trouble spots can make an impact. Consider a pedestrian hit at 25 miles per hour has an 89% chance of survival. At 35 miles per hour, that falls to 68% chance. And at 45 miles per hour, chance of survival drops to just 35%. For more information, go to our website, click on the story, and check out the links to learn more about safe routes to school. In other headlines this morning, 2 new human-caused fires burning on the Rocky Mountain front southwest of Augusta. Elk Creek fire first reported around 11:30 Saturday morning in the Sawmill drainage. Helicopters, hotshot crew, and the Augusta Volunteer Fire Department were able to contain it at 1.5 acres. And just after 2:30 Saturday afternoon, Falls Creek fire reported on the West Fork of Falls Creek just south of Dearborn Corridor. Helicopters, an air tanker, and a hotshot crew working to contain it. It was last estimated at about 10 acres. Now, because of these fires, Rocky Mountain Ranger District and the entire Scapegoat Wilderness on the Lincoln Ranger District are now back on Stage 1 fire restrictions. Well, volunteer firefighters protect many communities across Montana, and they're often called to help fight wildfires. But those local volunteers are dwindling. MTN's Andy Curtis takes a look at how those departments hope to build up their membership to keep the communities that depend on them safe.
This year's fire season got off to an early start all across the state. And for as bad as it got, it could have been a much worse situation if it weren't for our volunteer firefighters. But these brave men and women who do a job that many people take for granted are becoming harder and harder to find. And that's a problem for everyone.
It's just a struggle to get people. It's complacency. It's that kind of thing. It's somebody else's job and somebody will do it. Well, we're running out of people to do it.
That's Lewis and Clark County Volunteer Fire Chief WALLY JESTER. And he thinks the issue of finding new recruits points to a problem that's out of most of our control.
When I was a kid, Dad worked, Mom stayed home. When I got married, we both had to have jobs to keep tennis shoes on the kids and in the programs. And in today's world, I think they got all these homes and they're so expensive, the cars are so expensive, then they have to work 2 jobs and sometimes extra jobs just to make ends meet, and they just don't have the time.
Not enough time or money is a big problem that all of us face. But in this case, it's a problem that's trickling down to our safety as well, with people needing first responders all year long.
I think some people have tried the deal and then they just figure out how much time's expected to do it. I mean, West Valley County, we're on target this year to run close to 900 calls as a fire department, volunteer fire department. It's a job to manage it.
And even though the numbers aren't as robust as fire chiefs would like across the state, the people they do have are committed. And the people that work alongside these volunteers in the line of duty know just how important every one of them is.
I don't know what we do without them. They're a large portion of our workforce, and a lot of them come on to teams. They do different things. Some seek higher qualifications, go out of state, and some just stick around locally. So yeah, they're great folks to have around, and very, very much needed.
Even though as of right now, there is no money in being a volunteer firefighter, if you ask Jester and any of the men and women who sacrifice so much to keep us safe, there's a reason greater than money to be on call.
When you go on a call and you're part of a crew that cuts apart a car and saves their lives, or you stop that wildland fire when it's come rolling up to their house and you save their home, you can go to bed that night thinking, wow, what a difference we made today. There's your paycheck.
Wally told me that they are trying to work on some solutions to the recruiting problem, but it's easier said than done. To hear some of his ideas on how to solve this issue or to learn more about our volunteer fire departments, check out this story on our website. Reporting from Helena, Andy Curtis, MTN News.
All right, thank you very much, Andy. 6:39 now. Voters don't usually care about state elections happening in another state. However, the governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey in 2 weeks' time are being closely watched across the country. Our Joe St. George tells us why the outcome in those states might impact us here and why the races are seen as key indicator as to how the country is feeling about politics.
It's a tough time to understand how the American people truly feel about politics and our elected leaders. On one hand, you have President Biden saying his policy ideas are popular, but so far most haven't passed Congress. On the other hand, you have former President Donald Trump still holding rallies and talking about last year's election. You could read social media, watch cable news, or read polling to find out, but a lot of Americans lack confidence in those things, too.
So how can we tell how Americans really feel about the state of our politics and Democrats being in charge in D.C.? Well, two big elections are about to take place.
New Jersey is holding an election on November 2nd as current Democratic Governor Philip Murphy takes on Republican Jack Ciattarelli. But the off-year governor's race more people seem to be paying attention to is in Virginia between Democrat Terry McAuliffe and Republican Glenn Youngkin. Why is this attracting national attention?
Look, I know people may think, oh, we read too much into Virginia, but you can see some themes emerge. What does politics in, let's call it a purplish blue state, look like with Donald Trump gone? Joe Biden is in the Oval Office and sinking in the polls.
Tucker Martin, who has worked on several Republican campaigns in Virginia, says the election is one of the first major races anywhere where voters will have the chance to approve or disapprove of Democrats being in charge. Virginia is a state that Biden won by 10% last year, yet this governor's race is considered a toss-up, the color purple. If Republicans are able to flip it red for the first time since 2009, it would be seen by some as a rejection of Democratic leadership.
Virginia gubernatorial elections have always been captive to the national environment.
Across the country, strategists are watching this closely, too.
I think there is no substitute for actually hearing from voters.
Melissa Baldoff is a Democratic strategist in Wisconsin.
These early elections can sometimes be indicators.
Chad Campbell is a Democratic strategist in Arizona. Both are in states far from Virginia, but both have big midterm elections next year, and we'll be looking for who turns out and why.
So I'm sure it will change some folks' calculation.
I think that a lot will change in a year. It's still smart to learn what we can.
In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
All right, 6:42. We're going to take a break. Do